Good morning. Getting to work pretty quickly this morning from when I got up because I have fluids today, but I really want to get these pacifiers out and done with. So I'm still half in PJs. Well, still fully in PJs, let's be honest. How is everybody this morning? Okay. I was a ding dong and didn't get an orange. I need orange. However, I got yellow. I got a really bright yellow. Maybe should have done a little less bright yellow, but oh well. I can always go get more if I need to, but I also need orange because of the thing. Anyway. My nose is so itchy today. Right there. Okay. Let me go grab links because I know I'm going to send it to a couple people. I'm like, why does that feel weird on there? I am just so beyond tickled pink that Michael's has Oracle vinyl. There's a bubble right there, but that's okay. It's not going to be where I'm going. Jimmy, Leo. Okay, I understand that it's the same food and I can just take yours away, but his is easier to take away. Okay. He's like, excuse me? You took the food. Yes, I did. Sorry, my nose is so itchy today. It didn't connect. Hang on. Of course. Why didn't it connect? Oh, because it was connected to the computer. Or the phone. Hello, Joey. Jamie. This bird, I swear to Jesus Christ, Mary and Joseph, I'm going to strangle him. It is 84 degrees out already this morning. It is going to be fucking hot. So. Oh. So yeah, we're gonna do some just teeny tiny little decals today. I just have to work on here. I made a mess up there. Leo, stop. Yes. Oh, wait. Done. Okay, we can go to my projects. Leo! So he's not, at the moment, making as many noises as he was yesterday. I haven't listened to him much yet, but as of right now, he's not making as many noises. Customize. I'm not doing all of them. Place. Hello, Simon. I also today when I get home, I have fluids today, so I have to leave here at 2-ish. And when I get home, I have to come home and clean because tomorrow is. Would you not step on the vinyl? I love you, but do it. Of course, I don't have the wish one up here. Jimmy! I swear to Jesus Christ, Mary and Joseph, boy. He's so loud. He knows. So where's Wish? Darn it. Alright, fine. We're gonna make a new one. Just replace it. I don't need to do that then, because if I don't have this one set, I know which font I want. What kind of vinyl do I have? Currently I have all different types of vinyl. But I use it as adhesive vinyl. I just found out yesterday that Michael's carries Oracle 651, which is a great vinyl. It's a cheap vinyl, but it's really a decent vinyl. And everybody loves it. Like anyone who does Cricut stuff loves Oracle 651. And so I went and I got some yesterday. They had it. So typically when I go purchase vinyl from like Joann's or Hobby Lobby or something, Cricut vinyl runs between $8 and $25 a roll, just depending on what it is. And their rolls are 12 inches, which is the width of the Cricut, 12 inches by 24 inches, so 12 by 2 feet for $8. Michaels has Oracle 651 rolls that are 12 inches by 5 feet for $10, which is so good when it comes to the pricing. Now you can get them a little bit cheaper if you go online to like the wholesalers and stuff, but you have to pay shipping, which typically is, like $7. So it's cheaper to go get it from Michaels right now, especially when they have their sale like they had yesterday. I didn't buy the rolls yesterday just because I ended up wanting to buy some markers. But their rolls go on sale for $5.99 a lot. So, but I just bought 7 sheets of 12 by 12 for $10, which is a little more than I would wanted, but I needed just a few colors and I wanted to get my markers. So, once I got there, I made that decision. But I also this one is not an Oracle one. This is a Cicere. Cicere is more expensive. It's not necessarily any better, but I got this because I was going to do Pride Binkies. So I got this. It's got an extra color. It's got pink in there, but I still think it'll make great Pride Binkies. So I'm excited. I'm going to be making myself a Pride Binky and then like photographing it and putting it up there for to sell. Nice. Hello. Anyway, so we got to do. Let me grab the bed. I have a mess I have to clean up. Don't even look at my room. This was the Binky from yesterday. This we have to do. So we have to get that one out today, regardless. That one has to go because it is a. Yeah, they are in here. Okay. Wasn't sure if they were in there or in the other one. Nope. This one is done. No, I have to do those ones. So I have to go sand those. Damn it. One of the nipples is in here. No, that's my nipple. That's right. That one has been used by me before. And this one. I may or may not do this later. We'll see. But guys, look at this one. I think I'm gonna resin this one up and keep it. I might doctor the back a little bit, but let's look at that one. This one's got to be photographed for my shop. This one needs to be finished off its Tigger. This one needs to be finished off for a customer. But yeah, so I didn't remember. Okay, he's still making noises. Damn it. I was so hoping he was okay. That sounds a little more like hair. We can't tell if he's got like a lung thing going on or if he has a hairball. This is the start of one of mine. I will be offering this one up for sale, but this one's mine. So my plan may be thwarted because I forgot I had to sand these. We'll see. I can finish them off except for that here. Stay. So anyway, we have to finish the wording for this one, which is just wish right on the bottom. We have to cut out the crab for that one. I'm not sure. Let's just see how this cuts. I should have bought orange. I wish I had bought orange. But I wanted to put like a little bit crabby on that one. I don't think I can. Okay, what was that one? Only I knew which one I used for those. No, I don't want that one. Not right now. My body can't take it. Because clothing takes a lot of being upright and moving around a lot and things like that. Clothing had to kind of go because of the health issues that I'm having. So when I sew, I get really bad blood pooling in my feet. The blood does not circulate back up to the brain well. I pass out. Yeah, it's not great. So currently not doing clothing other than for myself because my projects take maybe an hour. And I'm really bad about regulating myself when I'm sewing. So yeah. Trying to figure out which font I used without. Yep, there it is. Okay. All right, now we need our length. Our width is 1.5. That takes it down to 1.59. There we go. We're gonna curve it just a bit. That's kind of pointless. Hi, Yuki. Right. I'm going to fix this. And that's going to be lowercase w. Okay. That changed the measurements. Come back here. We do 5. Okay, there we go. I'm doing okay. It's fluid day, so I'm happy. You know I love fluid day. So yeah. Fluid day is my favorite days. Just because I feel much better with them. Jimmy, stop. I swear to God, this bird is going to get smacked. If I had timing, I mean, I could put him out, but I don't want to put him outside right now. Because I'll forget about him before we leave. I have to shower around 1-ish. Get ready to go. Excuse me. Right, here we go. I like the coloring of my mat and my vinyl right now. It's really pretty. I don't know how well this is going to work. There's a pillow back there. It's perfect. Okay. Luma resin day, probably not. Well, maybe. We'll see. Ta-da! I do need to get myself some transfer tape. Okay. I never really used light grip mats much, but it's nice when I can use it with the paper bag vinyl because it just goes a little bit less meh. Okay, I can cut off a bit. This is just, I don't need this whole sheet. The customer that purchased the Alice in Wonderland Binky is very happy with the pictures of it, so I'm super glad. That one is packed up and ready to go. I have to go find the crab that I keep wanting to use, but I keep not saving it on this one. I'm trying to decide. I might cut out the letters. That's going to be out of white. That would be out of or teal. My nose is driving me crazy today. I need to favorite this one because I keep. Where is he? There he is. You need to be on save. We need to save that one. It's look good. To canvas. I don't know why, but it has 2 black layers. I'm not gonna. Okay, maybe I will. Oh no, it has 1. Okay, so they want it on black. Let's see. do a black layer and a pink. We'll do the 3. What the hell? We do the 3. All right. The question is, which pink will look best with which orange? You know, just because I can use this one. I got another pink. Holy fuck, that's big. No, cancel. I forgot to resize it. Cannot have it that big. We need it to be 0.8. That's the only reason I'm. Yeah, we're not gonna do all the layers. I will paint pen it on top. I have to do a couple of you because I don't know which. Yes, Leo, hello. I don't know which size is going to fit the best, so we do one that is for sure the right size. I know it will fit in that size. But I want this one to fit, so let's see here. We're going to take that down to... Ah! I deleted it! I need to go find some tissue. Okay, so we're going to give it, I think, a 0.9 will fit. We'll do one I know for sure will fit in the space, and then one that... Okay, so you're going just over to the 2-inch mark, and I am just tiny bit short. Okay, let's get this loose spot. Oops, that's right. Ah, it moved. I moved it. Wrong. There, that's good enough. Right. No, not yours. Yes, it is very fun. Okay, where are tissues or wipes or something? I just have them. They're right here. I know, it's just like... Oh, shit. Did I bring water in? I did, okay. No, you're not. Is this your new craft room? No. This is my bedroom. I'm just crafting from my bedroom because my bed is more comfy and safer. But my hope is to not stay in here. No, it's not. No, you're not. You're taking meds. I'm on an antibiotic, so I drank my protein drink. I have had my coffee for the most part. Now I need to take the medicines. Probably have to take Benadryl too, but we'll see. We will see. Oh, yes, you can cut. Health is, it depends on the day. I have a UTI right now because I had a urine test done and I had to have a catheter, and hence the painful UTI. I was not a happy camper. Sorry if that was just super loud in your guys' ears. And a fucked up arm, yeah. Thankfully, the arm isn't like the worst of the two. It depends on. I mean, like, I'm not passing out as much. Like, I still have all the exact same health issues. Those aren't going to go away ever. But we are starting, treatment like we've been doing fluids for a few months, twice a week. That's helping with the passing out from between Monday. I'd say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then kind of Thursday I do okay. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm pretty woozy. Do a lot of passing out those days. So I've just stopped telling everybody every time I pass out. Because there's no point anymore. Alright, let me cut this one out here. Let me grab my transfer tape. I had a catheter in, a Foley catheter for a 24-hour urine. Because of the incontinence, I can't void on my own. Well, that's not true. My bladder voids on its own, but I don't feel it, so I have no idea when it's coming. So I can't be like, oh, I need to go sit down on the toilet and collect the urine. So we had to do a catheter for 24 hours. That was not fun. I never want to do that again. I know I will have to because it's part of being incontinent, but just hate it. It was painful, it was uncomfortable, it was ugh. Okay, there's my first get back under there. So I can get my feet up. There we go. Alright, we need some transfer tape on this end because it's not. Ugh. I need to get some transfer tape. No. My incontinence is not going to ever change. There is complete nerve death in the bladder. There's one spot that I feel, which is in the urethra, like right. Probably, I might have feeling in the urethra itself, but outside of that, there's nothing. For women, urethra is pretty short, so I may have what would like all the feeling in there. But it's not gonna. That is never gonna change unless they can like figure out a way to grow me new nerves. Would you get over there? All right. I have been having this battle with my weeding tool for the last few days. It keeps disappearing. It's in here, but it keeps disappearing. There it is. It poked me. No. I wear diapers. There is no pads. I have a massive bladder because of the condition I have, where like it's neurogenic bladder, but basically my bladder fills up and releases whenever it feels like it. But I have a giant bladder because of it, and therefore pads are not an option. They could, yes, there are options that they could do, like we could do a suprapubic catheter, which is basically instead of inserting it through the urethra, you go through your stomach straight into the bladder type of deal. However, you still are very prone. Oh, shit, that was too early. I forgot I was reading that. You're still prone to UTIs and stuff because you're still, entering the bladder with bacteria. So for me, there's no other option other than diapers. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I've been in them for 11 years or 10 years or something like that. No, 11. It was 11 years in April. So for me, this is how it goes. It's the best solution. Currently, I go between a few different ones. I'm using the Rears brand. I use the dinosaur diapers. I use the alpaca diapers. Currently, I have ABU, the Peekaboo. I have used Crinkles and Better Dry. They're not my favorite. I typically stick with Rears because they're my favorite. They're most comfortable and they hold a decent amount. Peekaboos do a really good job too, so they may be ones that get put in the mix here for. Why do those? Because Depends don't hold anything. Depends are a store brand, like, cheap ass diaper. The Any medical grade diaper is pretty bad. They're uncomfortable. They stink. They don't hold much, and they're completely, just utterly horrible quality. And I'm allergic to most of those diapers, by the way. But when you have a gigantic bladder like me, unfortunately, you have to go with something that will hold a bladder worth, at least one time. Because my bladder can void up to 800 milliliters. How are the ones mentioned different? They're better quality. So their plastic is thicker. Their tapes are better. They have a landing zone, so you can undo the tapes if you need to, which I do use the toilet for pooping for most of the time. They hold a lot more. They're softer. They're more comfortable. They have higher quality materials, so I'm not as allergic to them. But mainly they hold more. They don't smell. Like, when it comes to the AB community, they have improved the diaper market immensely. Some of the medical companies, some of them do kind of pay attention to the ABDL community when it comes to the diaper, or not the diaper. When it comes to making diapers, they're getting a lot more competitive than they used to be. Also, I get to have fun prints when I do that. Like North Shore, they have blue, black, pink, white, and tie-dye for the type of diaper that I use. They also have, like, the one I've got on currently is like green with polka dots. It is literally I am only wearing this because I have to take a shower soon type of diaper, and I just don't want to waste a new one. But the quality and comfort of diapers has come so far. Yes, almost everybody I know knows I wear diapers. I don't hide it. Mostly right now, the only people we really see and hang out with are my brother-in-law, Andrew's brother. He's not actually my brother-in-law. We're not actually married. No, it's not hard to be discreet, actually. It's really not. My boyfriend wears 24/7. He wears to work, and nobody has any clue. So it can be if you're not careful. I don't care if anyone sees I have a diaper on. I do not give a shit. I stopped giving a shit a while ago. So, I mean, I haven't given a shit in probably 10 years. And I've been wearing for 11. I've had incontinence issues since 2005. No, he has not. He's an ABDL. I have had incontinence issues since 2005. Most of the time at that point, it was at night. Or if I was sick. And at that point, I was using the medical grade diapers for a while. Then I started using Abena, which now they're like low end of the totem pole. But back then, they were like top notch. And I would use those for nighttime and stuff. There was also wellness diapers. ABDL is an adult baby diaper lover. So we use regression as therapy and to help manage our anxiety and things like that. Diaper lover typically a diaper lover involves sexual fetish with the diaper thing. But it also could just mean you really enjoy them. And it brings you comfort. For my boyfriend, he wears 24/7 because in a way it is a need, but he is not incontinent. But his mental state, his anxiety and things are much better controlled when he has a diaper on, because he feels more secure, I guess. It's a security thing for him. And so since he started wearing 24/7, he's having a lot less of an issue with anxiety and shit going on and whatnot. He's come a long way. All right, I gotta put this down here. Where is the? Let's not be a dum dum and do what we did last time. Oh, there's Luma Binky, by the way. Does he use them too? Yes. Yep. He wears 24/7. He doesn't. I don't know if he uses them for number 2. At least not all the time. So there are times I do wear use completely all the way. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna cut through here. Because I think I'll have a better. Will you just rip for me? Of course not. Oh, there we go. If working and got to go, good have background. He uses a lot of the same ones I have. But he's a smaller human being, so he can fit into every brand there is. Only certain brands carry my size and have them in stock regularly, should I say. All right, this one goes first, which is going to be smack dab in the center as much as possible. I need my tweezers for a minute. Jimmy, please don't squawk, Bob. I have the tweezers. The tweezers were out. In the bed. This is one problem with crafting from your bed. Is your tools don't stay where you want them to stay. I can't remember if I had those out or not. I really need to stop drinking this much coffee. I am stopping it. We just have to get a new coffee pot. Oh, there's my hairbrush. I was looking for that. Nope, that's the wipes. Where'd that go? Okay. I thought it was on the bed, but I can be wrong. And it probably fell. Okay, never mind. No biggie. Does that mean you and Andrew don't use the bathroom anymore? Oh, no. I still use it. Oh, there they are. They're sitting across the room. I still use it for number 2. Every day. He doesn't work. I know he doesn't use it for both things at work. Jimmy stops. So, and I know he still uses the bathroom at home a little bit, just not all the time. Depends on the day and what he feels like taking care of. All right, there we go. Jimmy wants to be outside. Also, Hannah is home, therefore Jimmy squawks because he wants Hannah at his beck and call. If he hears her at all, he goes nuts. So he has a bit of a crush on Hannah. What are you doing, cat? Did they get stuck? Oops, I forgot to peel off that first because I don't want to. Yes. I spend about $300 a month on diapers and diapering supplies, like wipes and stuff like that. He stockpiles a little bit, so he doesn't necessarily have to spend that much. He doesn't have to spend that much every month. Like this month, he only bought like a case of diapers, and he's fine. Because I go through, we have to have a certain amount on hand because so this is one of the reasons. I can get away with about 2 cases a month, buying 2 cases a month if I have enough crossover from the previous month. So kind of what it would be like is like I buy 3 cases, 2 cases, 3 cases, 2 cases. That's how, if I were to say use up every diaper every month. However, also we have to have them on hand because I also go through times where I shouldn't and can't use the toilet because of a fissure or a tear in my intestine. I get those fairly regularly because I have no colon, and the small intestine is a little more sensitive than a colon. Because there is no colon, my system is super fast. So I often have like diarrhea, watery stool, things like that. That can actually cause tears because it moves through my system so fast. Like if I'm pooping, it moves so quickly that it actually tears my intestine wall a little bit. When that happens, it's exceedingly painful to go to the bathroom and on the toilet because of the positioning, the straining, things like that. So during those times, I stop using the toilet altogether, and I go to just the diaper. We're getting near that again, as today was evidence that it was pretty painful. So it might be time to take a potty break. No, I'm not using those wipes anymore. That was such an accident. So I have an allergy condition, by the way. It's called mast cell activation syndrome, and I randomly react to things. So, for example, I am allergic to pulled pork. I'm allergic to Three Musketeers. No, was it Milky Way? I can't remember if it was Milky Way or Three Musketeers. Yes. No, from using the potty altogether. That's what a potty break is. As I take a break from using the potty. But I had a set of wipes that we bought that we don't normally buy that had fragrance in it, and I did not realize this until I used it on my face one day because I was just like super sweaty, needed to wipe my face down real quick, used these wipes, only to find out they had a fragrance in them, and my face blew up. I had a massive allergic reaction to them. So we now know to watch very closely. So it's actually usually the diapers are about $2 to $3 a piece. I go through at least 3 a day. It is a very expensive thing. Yes, it's not cheap. Andrew usually goes through like 2, so he doesn't go through as many as me. So yeah, I need to stop yakking. You're fine. I need to talk and yak at the same time, or talk, yak, and work. There we go. I'm not taking that transfer tape off because I don't know if I like that positioning. I'm just centering mostly. You're tall. You're a tall little H. But I buy 90 diapers a month, at least. Sometimes I go through them all, sometimes I don't. Okay. I'm really shaky today because I need my fluids. I don't like the W. Right there. It needs to be a little bit. Ugh. It keeps trying to stick, and that's annoying. There we go. That's better. Come on. I might need to angle the eye. That's why I'm having so much trouble. I didn't angle the eye. Shit. I don't know if I can fix that. I mean, I can. So insurance doesn't really cover diapers, unfortunately. They will Medicaid sometimes covers diapers, but the ones they cover are such crap that it's not worth it. Plus, I'm allergic to them. I can't. So, no, Medicare. I'm on disability. It does not cover anything diaper wise. It will cover It would cover if I was using catheters, but it doesn't cover, or would it cover catheters even? I don't know. Come on, you little eye. Let me pick you up. Sorry, I'm trying to angle this a little bit better so that it doesn't look as weird. I would like to angle that S. I don't know if I can, but that S needs to kind of move a little bit too. If insurance covered diapers, it would make a lot of us disabled people happy. It will cover diapers, cheap diapers. Only Medicaid will cover that. And some private insurances. That was my phone. Walgreens, Tresor, right? Okay. I have things to pick up. I'll just do that after. Are the ABDL diapers really that different? Yes, they are very different. Even baby diapers are really different, like from each other. Well, there's like the cheap ones and then there's other ones, but like no, diapers are not diapers. There's thickness levels, there's different types of padding that you can put in it. So there's two different types. One is called sap and one is called pulp. One is like baby diapers are I think are all sap. Baby's diapers are usually completely made of sap. There's a little bit of fluff, not much. Adult diapers have to have both because we have so much more urine output. We have to have. Oh, that's much better. That's way better. Okay, good. So yeah, they're very, very different. I'm gonna freaking smack you, Yuki. Yeah, Attens are. So Attens has different options when it comes to diapers. Attens used to be a really good diaper. And then they changed. Most of the medical companies have changed to a cloth back diaper with very little padding in it. Padding is the fluffy part. So hang on, I'm going to get out my diapers to show you this just because it's kind of makes a good example. So give me a second. Just to show you a little bit of the difference between diapers, I have 3 different ones here. So the one I currently have on, which is never can wear it at night. It's also too small, but I can manage for a little while in it. If you look at this, you can automatically see that there's a massive, let me see what I'm showing you this. There's a massive difference in thickness. Like you can just see it right off the bat. Massive difference. This is the very cheap low end of diapers this is from North Shore. This is a medical company. This is their light diaper. I call this a one and done because my bladder kills these. One shot wonders for me. Which is why I wear them. Like if I know I have to shower in the next hour, I'll wear this. So this is a North Shore diaper. This, you can see how thin this is. This one is primarily just fluff, a little bit of fluff. Like this is what most diapers that you get covered by insurance will be like. It's like this one. But it'll be fabric backed, usually. It'll be fabric backed, or some of them are plastic backed. It just depends on the brand. But a lot of the ones are fabric backed. This is the next one that I just got these recently, but this is a Peekaboo from ABU. So it's all white except for this part. So this is ABU. This one has some fluff, but mostly sap. So super absorbent polymer absorbs like massive amount times its weight. It's that silicone, like the silica gel type bead things. That's what sap is. So this one holds a lot. This does get fluffed up when I put it on. I do like a thing to fluff it up a bit because it's compressed from being in the package. But this one has more fluff in it than the rest of them. But if you look at this one compared to this, like if you compare thicknesses, like this is so much thicker than this. This holds so much more than this one. So, but this is my favorite brand. This has a landing zone so you can undo the tapes. It has a capacity of 5,000 something milliliters. Also, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know this, when it comes to diapers and how much they hold, it's a joke, okay? Because they measure how much a diaper will hold by pouring water into it and then weighing it and things like that. Like they literally fill it up with water and see how much it is. The thing is, what they don't put into play is positioning, capacity under pressure, where the pee goes. Because no, a diaper does not just automatically fill front to back or back to front. For different people, like, girls tend to fill the middle and the front first a lot of times. Guys can reposition and fill a diaper differently. So just to show you something, just to kind of demonstrate weirdness here, when I had my 24-hour urine test, they said the average output for a human, or at least a female, for 24 hours is 1,600 milliliters. These say we hold up to 5,000 milliliters. My average was 2,200, but I still go through 3 diapers a day because pee is not the same as water, and it depends on the pressure and stuff. Like if I'm sitting like this and I pee, I'm probably going to leak on my first wetting because of the way I'm sitting, how it's going to go. It's going to leak. So it so depends. So when they say they hold this much and hold this much, it's kind of a joke. Because almost nobody will get to the actual capacity. Unless you are you can perfectly place where you pee. But anyway, that's kind of an example. Like this one looks a lot closer to this one because it's compressed and stuff. Is there a best diaper? No, because every human is different. There's not a best diaper for everybody. Now, the diapers are becoming more and more alike, except for ABU. ABU drives me crazy. I usually don't like that company. And I'll explain why. So a lot of the manufacturers like Rears and North Shore are very similar. North Shore's slightly different. They're slightly bigger. And their sap to pulp ratio is a little bit different, but they're very similar. ABU uses an Asian manufacturer, uses their sizing, and it sucks. This is much more American Canadian sizing. These are from Canada, by the way. I get these shipped from Canada. They are available in the U.S. and to the U.S. These come from Canada, though. I order from a Canadian website. These are from the U.S. The ABU, for example, their sizing is so weird. They're about a size or 2 behind. When it comes to the small, medium, and large, they're a size behind. When it comes to their extra large, they're about 2 sizes behind. Megamax is pretty good. The only reason I'm not using the Megamax from North Shore right now is because it's $125 for 40 diapers. I get 36 diapers for like $90. So they're expensive as fuck right now. Megamax is super expensive right now. So in protest, I'm not purchasing from them. I haven't purchased from them in months. As soon as they raised prices, I was done. Yes, they are my favorite diaper, but there's no should wear this. It's all about preference. Rear's diapers are very soft. Like their padding inside is super soft. However, their plastic is super loud. So there's not much hiding these diapers. They're meant to be, for the adult baby. Whereas this one is not quite as loud, but it's not as soft. So it really is all in your preference. Some people don't even like the landing zones. They like the second chance tapes, like this one has, where you have a white tape and you have a blue tape. Blue tape goes down first. You can lift the white tape off the blue tape and retape it. Whereas this one has this special landing zone on it, and their single-use tape goes on there and peels off. I personally don't typically use either, but you can kind of see that as it's sitting here, the diapers are kind of fluffing, especially the rears one. Look at that. So, for me, I was using the North Shore Megamax all the time, exclusively, because they fit the best. They fit best on me. They work really good on me. However, we then had a price raise. It went from $100 a case, or it went from $95 a case to $125 a case. Humongous jump. So it's no longer cost effective for me to buy from them, because I still have to order 3 cases a month, and that's $375 dollars, almost $100 more than what I spend right now for the same amount of diapers. So these I bought forever ago. They don't fit me, but I can use them in a pinch, so they're taking forever to use up. I bought this a month ago. Leo, Simon, Baba, I love you. Lay down. Leo. You're not Leo. You're Simon. Come here. Can you get off the camera? Thank you. The pulp sap ratio. What is that? So, sap is a super absorbent polymer. It's like that silica gel that absorbs the liquid. Like in baby diapers, if you cut open a baby diaper, you'll have like that jelly stuff to it. That's sap. Pulp is just like this fluffy stuffing type of deal. It's basically like pulling, like if you pick cotton off a cotton plant, that's what it's like. It's made from wood, basically. It's called pulp. The ratio in a diaper, sap to pulp ratio, tells you how it's going to hold, because like super absorbent polymer locks that urine into like, it absorbs that and it doesn't let it go. Sap or pulp absorbs it, but it can be compressed out. So you want the right ratio so that you have the soft diaper that doesn't fall apart, because sap also, like, it forms clumps and it's really super squishy when it's wet. For example, Tranquility, all through the night diaper, they use almost exclusively sap. Their diaper is horrible. It's just like, it squishes. Like if you have thick thighs, if you're a woman with thick thighs, your thighs will squish that in the middle, and you'll end up with sap in the front of the diaper and sap in the back of the diaper. What diapers use mostly? Pulp. It's kind of hard to say. Most don't like, and it's a little bit hard to tell because the sap is literally mixed into the pulp. So like, what gives it the really super thick fluffy is the pulp. So like this one is mostly sap. It gives you have the pulp for the shape, really. But like, hang on, I'll show you. I'm gonna wear one of these later anyway. So this is me breaking it up a little bit. This is kind of spreading out that, or it's making those fibers fluff up a bit. They're not as compressed. They'll hold better. They'll hold more, and it's not stiff. So let me see. So like, that's the inside of the diaper, and I went ahead and fluffed it up. That one doesn't fluff that much. Like, it really doesn't fluff up that much. Whereas this one, this is what it looks like. That gets quite a bit more fluffy, and like you can see that it gets a little bit more moldable than this one does, because this has a good amount of pulp to sap ratio. So it's more comfy to wear this when it's dry than this one is, to me. At least to me. Some people love these diapers and exclusively use them. I don't. But I buy all different ones because I like having a choice. Then, for example, this one. This one is a very thin diaper. This is called Fluffing It Up, by the way. This one, if I do this, it starts like breaking down the padding. Like right here, it's starting to separate from itself. And it's starting to right here as well. So padding does what we call breaking, and it helps when you fluff a diaper out. Yes. No, you're thinking no, yours are not all fluff. No diaper is all fluff or all sap. Yes, to some degree. The sap is really wicking. Like it just wicks that away really good. So sap absorbs slower. That's the thing. So this is how cloth diapers go too. Sap absorbs slower, but it absorbs more. Fluff absorbs faster, but holds less. So in a cloth diaper, like when you're using cloth diapers, things like cotton, and so flannel, cotton, microfiber, those cotton and so flannel absorbs super fast, but it doesn't hold much. So you have to pair it with like a hemp or a bamboo, something that absorbs slower but more. Microfiber absorbs a lot, but it can be compressed right out. So it just depends on what you're looking for, and what you're comfortable with. But the Mega Maxes do have a decent, like the Mega Max is a great diaper. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have diapers all over my room. That remains to be seen because it distributes differently for each human being. It distributes differently for boys and girls, or I should say, people with a penis and people with a vagina. But that's the thing, is it's completely dependent on the person. My boyfriend likes things that, like, he tends to like a few different ones than I do for different reasons. But it completely depends on your needs when it comes to each diaper, like my friend who wears, she doesn't wear all the time, but I lost my there. She doesn't wear all the time, but she likes certain diapers for different reasons. Like she doesn't like there's 4 tape versus 2 tape. I hate 2 tape. 2 tape can't hold as much. Just so you are aware, those of you who don't know this, 2 tape diapers can't hold as much because they can't hold as much weight when there's. Where did that weeding tool just go? I legit just had it. That's a phone. Did I put it away or did I drop it? I mean, I have 2 weeding tools, but so like for me, I can't wear 2 tape really because they don't hold enough. She doesn't like the 2 tape. She hates them because they fit different. That's the other thing. Like those of us who have more hips, Simon took it off. Yeah, probably. He probably went away with it somewhere, or I did. I don't know. I will find it. But there's like some people who love the 2 tapes, and I hate them. It just depends on your preference. It's all about preference and what you feel comfortable with. So that's why there is no one diaper is the best. For me, the best diaper was the Mega Max, but currently it's too expensive. So it's no longer my best option. Rears is my best option. ABU is my best option right now because, it depends. But yeah. So and then there's people who are incontinent and only ever use the medical diapers that are covered by insurance because they can't afford the other ones, or they don't know about them, or they are like, heck no, because I don't want a babyish print or a childlike print on my diaper. I like the fun. I love dinosaurs. I'm a little though, so he likes most of the same ones I do. He has a few different ones that he likes. Like, he likes the better dries. I don't like them. They clump and break down, and I don't like them. But we also wear the same ones, like alpacas, the dinosaurs, the ABU. So it really just depends. Right now, I am very limited in what I can use. I can't use Tykables because they're a hook and loop, and I am slightly out of their range. I'm talking half an inch out of their range, and it drives me insane. Whereas with a regular tape diaper, because the Tykables use a Velcro, so they have like a Velcro, like baby diapers do. Whereas Rears uses completely plastic and adhesive. The adhesive tapes, I can, if I am slightly outside of the range, I can still adhere it because it still sticks to the plastic. Yes, there are ABDLs who do wear and not use. The majority, that's not the case, but there are a few who using it just grosses them out. I have had a friend who did that because they didn't have the privacy to throw away diapers, but they had the ability to wear. They would wear it and not use it because then they could wear it again. So I want to see if this is going to fit. I have no idea if it will. That's the thing with diapers, is there's just so many different things that go into it as to why someone will use a brand versus not use a brand. It's very interesting. Did I move the transfer tape? Again. I did. Myself right now. I will find all these things in my bed later, trust me. Have you tried cloth? Yes. I actually exclusively wore cloth for about a year. But then I noticed it was dislocating my hip. Yes, this is true. Yes, it's going to break down the padding over time, but you can get 2 uses out of it instead of 1 if you don't use it, type of thing. So yeah, it all is about preference. But yes, I actually used to make and sell cloth diapers. Yes, exactly. I designed a cloth diaper pattern. I still have it. I've never sold it, and I don't know that I will. But I spent years perfecting my cloth diaper. And to this day, I have people tell me there's no other cloth diaper like yours. However, for me, it's not the company that I was buying my fabrics from shut down. It was supposed to be just a move, and they never went back up that I could tell. I could check. I haven't really checked in a while. Yeah, it still won't make me one. I know. It's making cloth diapers for me. There's almost no profit in it. When you're making them on a huge scale and you have a company and you can buy wholesale and in bulk, that's one thing. But I would have to sell one print of a diaper, because you have to buy a good 25, 50 yards of it at a time wholesale. And it's expensive. If you're running a company and you have that revenue of you're selling several diapers every single day, that's one thing. When you're a one-person business, I had to sell my diapers for $60 to $70 a piece. Between my diapers themselves, I think ran 50 to 60. Whereas the inserts were 12 to 15 a piece. So it's expensive. Cloth diapering is not a cheap investment. I actually calculated it out at one time. In order to make myself enough diapers to last me 1 week, I had to spend $1,100 minimum. That would be enough for 1 week. Now, mind you, you're washing diapers every 2 to 3 days. So you have to have enough to make a decent load, but still have enough to wear. So it was going to cost me $1,100 to make my own. Change that to you have to buy it, and the type of diaper I wore. Doctor recommends this toilet. So for me, I tried timed voiding. When I had my urologist way back when this started, she was a horrible human being. But she's like, okay. So my incontinence has changed over the years. From 2005 to 2011, I had intermittent incontinence. So I would wet the bed. I had messy accidents at night a lot because I had just had so many surgeries. My bowels hadn't learned how to hold it yet. So I had intermittent incontinence. So bedwetting here and there, daytime accidents here and there, messing accidents fairly regularly at the time. In 2011, that all changed. April 4th of 2011 was the last time I ever wore underwear. Was the last time I ever felt the need to pee. But that day I had my best friend over, had spent the night. We were having, just having a friend day, binge watching movies. We were making lunch. We were making a box of mac and cheese in the kitchen, and I peed my pants. I didn't feel it. I didn't know that I had gone until my pants felt warm and wet, and then it got cold. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh shit, I peed my pants. So I went and changed my pants, my underwear, so I had a new outfit. And then later on in the day, we were, a couple hours later, we were sitting there watching TV. We had a leather couch, thank God. And I peed my pants again. And I still hadn't felt the need to pee. I'm like, changed again. After the third time that I did that, the fourth time that I did that, I'm finally like, okay, I'm done. I'm putting a diaper on. I'm tired of wetting my pants. I'm now out of clothing. I never was able to feel my bladder again after that. So, I've literally been 24/7 diapered since then. Back then, I would wear diapers for nighttime or during the day if I was having accidents or something. I could kind of tell very early on in the day if it was going to be a diaper day or not. I wore fairly regularly then, but I still had the freedom to not wear diapers a little bit. So yeah, but after that, I never wore another pair of underwear after that. The first time in 11 years that I didn't have a diaper on. Okay, that's not true. I was in the hospital in May of 2011. I had a surgery. They were hoping that surgery was going to fix the incontinence. It didn't, because that's not why it wasn't the cause. And I had a catheter in for 3 weeks. That was not fun. And it was kind of the comments that I got from the doctors after that, I'll tell you in a minute. So during that surgery and that hospital stay, when I was in for a month or 3 weeks, I was catheterized until the last 2 days. And then this past last week, when I had the 24-hour urine, I didn't have a diaper on, except for at night. How the heck did I just cut that? I do not know. Oh, wow, that's weird. Fuck did it just pull up? Weird. I've never had it do that. That's nuts. Anyway, so that surgery, they removed my ovary because it was massive. I had a tumor. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so I grow cysts like crazy. One of the cysts had grown to the point of it completely engulfed my ovary. So they could no longer find the ovary. There was no saving the ovary at that point. The cyst was too big. It was a tumor at that point. It went from, you're going to flick my ear now. So they did that surgery. There were complications, which is why I ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks. I had a chest tube had to go in. I had a central line placed. I had a catheter. I was not doing good. So, but yeah, My journey with incontinence has been interesting. Thankfully, I have always kind of had a really kind of lackadaisical attitude about it. Like, it doesn't bug me that often. In the summertime, I get so frustrated though, because I'm like, I just want to go without a diaper. It's too hot. Just let me go without a diaper. Okay, yeah, you are too big. I thought so. Well, you know what? You go on the computer then. So yeah, but everybody's journey is different when it comes to incontinence and stuff. Like, some people have the I have overflow incontinence / neurogenic bladder. Some people with neurogenic bladder can't physically pee, so they have to cap. Thankfully, I don't have that problem. Back onto the timed voiding thing, because I know I kind of strayed from that a little bit. My doctor was like, okay, every 2 hours I want you to sit on the toilet. So I literally would set my alarm. I would sit there for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I wouldn't pee. It was so annoying. I wouldn't pee. And there are days where I would be like, okay, I've been on this toilet for 20 minutes, I'm done. I get up, and then like within like 10 minutes, I would pee. Or within an hour, I would pee, and there was just no point. It was too much stress. It wasn't working at all. We tried medication. We tried meds to make the bladder contract. It did nothing. It didn't help because I couldn't feel my bladder. But this was the stupidity in this doctor, and this is where this doctor was horrible. So when I had the incontinence issues, we started seeing a urologist. The urologist ran testing. So there's a couple of different tests they run. They run a flow test, which is to see how fast you're going. They run urodynamic testing, and they do cystoscopy, and then like cystoscopies and stuff. Why are you doing this? Let go. Let go my ego. Let go of my crab. Thank you. So when the cystoscopy is a camera that goes up your bladder and looks around, make sure there's no lesions. I did not have lesions. The urodynamic testing is the most uncomfortable part, and this is where we knew in that moment exactly what was going on. Urodynamic testing, they hook a ton of electrodes up to your muscles around your stomach, your bladder, your bum. They put a catheter in your bladder. They put a catheter up your rectum. It really is just measuring the signals in the muscles. So, and then what they do is they fill your bladder up slowly to watch your bladder's contraction, the muscle contractions. And the nurse that did this, she said, I've never seen a test like yours. So she was filling up my bladder. We were getting to the 400 milliliter range, and she's like, so normally, at the 200 rate, she's like, so normally this would be a half full bladder. That's when your bladder starts to let you know, hey, I'm filling up. It's time to think about going to the bathroom. Mine didn't do that. So at 400 milliliters, she's like, okay, so this is normally when people can no longer stand it. They have to pee. I didn't feel shit. We got up to 450, and she's like, okay, I think I'm going to stop putting fluid in because your bladder should be bursting. You should be like having to go to the bathroom so bad right now. I felt nothing. The only time I felt something is once the urine gets through the urethra. I can only feel it right before it leaves and touches the skin. At that so she's filling it up, and she's like, okay, we're almost 500. I gotta be done. And I'm like, I gotta whoosh. And I pee. Now, mind you, they have a collecting. You sit on a commode, they collect it. So I didn't pee all over the floor. And her jaw dropped. She's like, I've never seen a test like this. She's like, so you know what a heartbeat does, where it's like bloop, 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 bloop. She's like, that's what we should be seeing. We should be seeing your muscle contractions. Like, she's like, halfway through, it starts contracting little bits. And then when you have to pee really bad, it's going to get bigger. She's like, yours was literally flat line, and all of a sudden there was a huge bloop, and that's exactly when I was peeing. She's like, there is zero nerve activity in your bladder. So she's like, it's no wonder you're peeing yourself. You can't feel shit. She's like, your nerves are dead. My doctor. So then we did cystoscopy a different day, but we did a cystoscopy, which is the camera. They fill your bladder up and look in there with a camera. She filled my bladder up and she looked around. She's like, everything looks good. She's like, now I want to do a flow test on you, which is basically, let's see how fast or slow you're peeing. And she's like, so your bladder's full. I want you to walk over to the bathroom and do a flow test. And I'm like, there is no way with a full bladder I'm going to make it down the hall without an accident. She's like, oh, you'll be fine. It's only 2 doors down. I'm like, I would like to put a diaper on. She's like, no, you don't need it. I got up, made it to the door, walked out of that door, my entire bladder all over the floor. And I'm like, fuck you. We got in to see her after all of the testing was done, and she basically looked at my mother and said, she's faking. Excuse me? We fired her that day. We never went back because my mother is like, I'm sorry, I watched her at these tests. I watched her pee on the floor because she couldn't hold her bladder. She couldn't feel it either. I watched that test as it was completely flat line until she peed and she couldn't feel it. Like her body was showing there is no feeling. We fired her that day. We went to a new urologist who's like, oh my God, yeah, you have 0 nerves. You're never going to feel this. Like your nerves are dead. He was wonderful, mind you. And he's like, so our goal at this point is like, you're retaining some urine when you are peeing. So he's like, you're peeing a lot, but you got like 200 milliliters staying behind. So you're retaining urine. And I was having UTIs mostly without knowing it. So he put me on a medicine. He's like, this is a funny kind of story to this medication. It was used for several different things. One of them was erectile dysfunction. The other is blood pressure. And the other is for what I used it for. But basically, it kind of relaxes the muscle around, like the sphincter muscle around your bladder. So the neck of the bladder, it opens it up so that instead of being small and peeing just a little bit and leaving behind, it opens up and just lets it all out. So I stopped having urinary tract infections like crazy at that point. So he's like, at this point, there is nothing we can do outside of like some sort of nerve surgery if it ever happens. But he's like, in all honesty, a nerve stimulator wouldn't even work for you because the nerves are dead. I don't even remember. So, he's like, you have options. He's like, yes, you can catheterize. Nope. I don't. I really don't. I've gotten this one, but it's been a good 10 years since I've had a UTI. But so he's like, you can catheterize. And I said no, because I knew exactly what went on this time was what was going on beforehand. Is the urethra spasms. It thinks that because the catheter sits in there and it touches the urethra, my urethra will just spasm like crazy and thinking that I'm going all the time. And it was so painful. Oh my God, it was so painful. So I said, no, I don't want a cath. And he's like, that's fine. You don't need to. You can use a diaper. He's like, I have no problem with that being your option. Like, he's like, that's what I would honestly recommend next. Do you have any feeling when you need to do number 2? Yes. Because it's a different muscle. It's different nerves. Now, feeling it and being able to control it are 2 different things. So there is muscle weakness because I've had 12 surgeries on my abdomen and butt. So the intestines have been operated on 12 times. That sphincter has been messed with. So my bowels do not always wake me up to go at night. If I'm going to have an accident, mostly it's at night. During the day, if I feel I have to go, I have to get to the toilet as soon as humanly possible. How long I can hold it at that point varies. It just depends on the moment, the day, all that stuff. So, It depends on how those muscles are doing. So, but if I have watery stool, such as diarrhea, which I spend a lot of time with what is considered diarrhea, but I'm talking like really, really, really watery stool, I cannot control that at all. At that point, it just leaks out. No. I change when the diaper is full or if I leak. If I poop the diaper, I will change the diaper immediately. As soon as I notice, at least. It's not always surprisingly, it's not always noticeable, especially if I wake up not that long after pooping. Once it starts hurting, then I know, oh shit, I pooped my diaper. Like this morning, I woke up. I didn't know I had pooped my diaper. Yuki, shut up. I know exactly what you're going to say. I didn't know I had pooped my diaper. It wasn't that big of a poop either. But that's the type of situation where I had no clue. I didn't get up and change my diaper right away because I didn't know. So that's... don't tear up my room. Okay, good. So it just depends on the situation. Probably in the next few days, I will be going to a diaper only. Which means then when I go, I go. And I change at that point. I know exactly what Yuki's going to say. So, no, I change my diaper roughly twice. Like, I go through about 3 to 4 diapers a day. So, I always change before I go to bed if I'm wet. If I'm at all wet, I always change before I go to bed because I don't want to go to bed in a wet diaper because who knows what my bladder's going to do at night. And there are days where I'll wake up to a dry diaper. It does happen. And as soon as I move, I pee. So it's kind of like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and print those labels while I'm sitting here. So I can get at least these 2 out when I go. Because I'm running out of time for the other one. Alright, we need a wrap. Alright, so I won't be able to see your comments for just a minute. Close. We're going to all 3 get shipping labels. We're going to do it through here just for the heck of it. Alrighty, select. Classifier. We need to edit that one because this is actually smaller. I use smaller envelopes now. Class. Additional info. Yep. I'm not going to change it. It's fine. It's not. It doesn't change the pricing at all. So, oops. Ta-da. Okay. Actually, it doesn't change. Let me check. Okay, so it's $3.79 currently. Let's change the sizing and see if that makes a difference. 8x4. Or it's not 8x4. It's 4x6. Is it 4x6? 4x6, is that what I bought? Where's my map? Let's measure. I want to say this is a 4x6. I'm just doing that. Oh, no, it's a 7. It's a 5x7. Okay. Well, it's technically 4x6 based on the, yeah, so it's 5x7. Okay, 5x7. 7. Tab. 5. Yeah, it doesn't change the price. Not one bit. That's what I thought. Alrighty. Review. Cool. 3 labels purchased. We'll print a packing slip. Print. And we need to mark the settings differently. Close. I forget that I have to do it through this first. More settings. It is at 90. Okay. Print. There it goes. Okay. And back to this. Those look what? Some have booster in the diaper. Yes. Boosters help. Boosters increase the absorbency. And sometimes they help it absorb better, depending on the diaper. I don't use boosters for the most part because of the likelihood of my messing, because I don't like to. Why does this sound so quiet? I think I made that crooked, but I don't know. I know. If you and your boyfriend use so many diapers, do you use a diaper pail? No. I mean, yes. In the bath, we use a normal trash can. So we have a covered trash can in our bathroom, a decent sized one, in each bathroom. He doesn't use no one uses the bathroom downstairs, really, except for me. So we have a covered trash bag, and we empty it every couple of days. So yes. You need some. There we go. Better. This is so cute. Do you have to put back? Huh? You have to put in back your diaper. We do not each have our own bathrooms. We have 3 people living in the house. Actually, we are a polyamorous household. So my boyfriend has 2 girlfriends. Me and his girlfriend are not a couple. We are friends. We are basically like sisters. We are not a couple in any way, shape, or form. I don't go upstairs because my mobility and my stuff, I can't do the stairs really. It causes too much of a heart rate increase and I pass out. So I don't really go upstairs. It's so hard to do. It's so tiny. There we go. So yeah, I don't do the upstairs. So yes, technically we use separate bathrooms, but it kind of works that way. Actually, I end up with he has a trash can in his bedroom for his diapers because he usually changes in his bedroom. I have to decide which. She rarely wears. She's a switch, so she spends most of her time big. I haven't shown you guys the hand painted one. I thought these ones would sell sooner, so I may be keeping some of these. Specifically these 2. So we have this one, and this is hand painted, except for the dory. The dory's not hand painted. And we have this one. This is completely hand painted. Yes, I'm shaky as heck. I hand painted this. And this. And this. I have the handle off of this one right now, but. And then this one. So these are all hand painted. This one is now partially hand painted. Okay. Let me get at least these 2 packaged up that I can package up, and then I'll resin Binkies if I have time, but right now probably won't have time. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's not Yuki's. This one's Yuki's. I don't like this handle, so this handle is not going upon yours, Yuki. I have to take that off of there. But I like this handle. It looks better. So cute. This is Yuki's pacifier that I made. This one is also available. Not this particular one, but this is what is a big? Okay. So a big when in the ABDL community, those of us who regress are littles. The bigs are our caretakers, often called mommies and daddies. So Hannah switches between the 2. Andrew and I are both littles. Andrew has a little. Andrew has a big sign, but it usually is only in the bedroom. And I don't do that. So, yeah, you are not. You lie, Yuki. I used to have a mommy. I do not currently have a mommy. So yeah, like they are our caretakers. So when we regress, they take care of us. Time out for Yuki. Yes, please. She does to some degree. And it's kind of hard to explain, especially when it's like, okay, so for me and my mommy were in different countries. She was in the UK, I was here. So like we had a set of rules that I would follow, and if I didn't follow the rules, in front of her, I got a punishment. If I didn't follow the rules and she found out later on, I got in double trouble. So but so like we had rules, like one of our rules was she put different rules in place for each of her littles. For me, like there was the rule of I had to drink a certain amount of bottles of nutrition. So because I don't eat well, I was supposed to drink this many bottles of nutrition in a day and this many water bottles in a day, things like that type of thing. And so she was just for those of us in the community, it depends on what your desires are and what you agree to with your big. Mine was basically I was treated as if I was her child. So I'm a very little when I am little. My natural regression age is between 6 and 12 months. I would say. I have been told I go lower at times, but most of the time I'm between 6 and 12. Or 6 and 12 months. 6 and 12 months. Some people regress, their little age is like 8 or 10. At that point, you're kind of a middle, not a little. So it just depends on the person. And what they, how they go. Depends on, what. Which one? Okay, there it is. I'm just trying to see where. Nope. For Andrew, his little age is about 3 to 4. He can go down that. Also, Andrew's little side is a puppy. So there's that. I find that one a little bit hard to believe, but okay. And I only know, okay, so this is the thing. I was a child development specialist. Or not specialist, but I went through schooling to become a child development specialist. I started off. So I did a lot of child development. I based that age off of my learning of that and what I do in that headspace versus what an actual child does in that headspace. Trust me, if you're 2 to 4 months old, you ain't doing shit. You're laying there doing nothing. Yes, so there's also a subculture of the ABDL culture is baby furs and furries. For Andrew, he's a baby fur, so his little side is more of like a puppy. It's kind of interesting because he's really a mixture of both. But yeah, so I am very much so. The 6-month thing is a rare thing for me, but I spend much of my headspace around a year to a year and a half. So it just, yeah. But and here's the thing. This is another thing to really understand. So when it comes to communication with littles online versus in person, that also changes. Because while we are regressing, we also still function as an adult. In our head, we still have the thought processes, and there's also a difference between those who truly regress. There are different types of regression. There's full-blown regression, which I've done, and at that point, I cannot be left on my own. I cannot do shit for myself. I am very regressed. That doesn't really happen all that often. That happens when I know, A, there's a competent big physically around me, B, if I'm in the right state of mind. When I'm talking about like having little time or whatever, typically that's going to be, at this point, me interacting with certain people in a certain way. As an adult who primarily communicates with the ABDL community through text, through video things, like video calling is different. Video calling, you get a very different Kai than you do when I'm texting. Because yes, I go nonverbal. And at that point, it's very hard to communicate in general. Really hard. If you're in person with me, you get a lot of grunting and a lot of pointing and a lot of you get the nonverbal communication like in that way. If I'm texting with you, you're gonna have a lot of like words omitted, words mixed up, one word answers, baba. You get very few, yeah. And then if you see it in person when it's going on at the same time, it's kind of funny. But it's not a bad thing. The nonverbal, if I go nonverbal because when I'm regressed, that's typically because somebody has just really triggered that little side to completely just relax and be whatever it wants to be. In little space, I have very little verbal communication as it is, unless I'm voice and video calling with you. And even then it's me and my friend Shannon. We have a very interesting communication when it comes to little sides, because she is currently the little of my ex-mommy. Her and I were mommy's littles at the same time. So we're really close friends. We regress a lot. We trigger each other's regressive states all the damn time. It's really funny when that happens. I'm trying to find my tape. There it is. So my communication with her kind of varies, but we do still function as an adult in ways. Especially if you're communicating online, you have to be able to actually communicate. So the people who type with little speak all the time, to me, that's very inauthentic. Because you have to physically sit there and think about how to wrongly spell a word usually. So the people who are replacing W's or like R's with W or something like that, that actually takes a lot more cognitive thought than actually just typing. But we do that in role plays all the time as we type differently, But if you have somebody who's completely communicating like that, I know that they're not actually being little. They're just trying to sound little. Now, there are things like, there are words that we end up having, like me and Shannon, there's certain words that we literally just naturally use now, even in adult conversation. Or there's things we naturally, like we started using in little space that we now, we have adopted into our communication. It's kind of fun. So yeah, and it just depends on like what you're doing. Now, we were role playing with a lot of people. We don't as much anymore because they keep breaking the freaking headspace. But when you're communicating, it's not good etiquette. Even if you're in a little space, it's not good etiquette to constantly use, to do little. We call it little speak. it is not appropriate to use that in general conversation. Even if you are regressed, it's not appropriate. So mommy had a little for a little while who only ever communicated little. That's like literally. She never communicated with us on an adult level, which is one of the reasons she kind of didn't get along with anybody, is because she wasn't forming relationships with us, because it was literally only ever little. As adults, we are adult babies. As adults, we communicate on an adult level a lot of the time. When we're regressing, that's different. But our friendships are based in our adult life. Therefore, you have to communicate as an adult most of the time. She literally never communicated with anybody, no matter what. Whenever she talked to any of us, she always did it in little. Everything was little. So we never could even have an adult conversation with her. It made her feel uncomfortable. Like, she'd tell us, this makes me feel uncomfortable. And it's like, sorry, we're having an adult conversation. We kind of have to talk as an adult. You can't just always be regressed. It's not appropriate. So it got to be a issue because she's also, her little communication was literally she spelled every word wrong, basically, and it became incredibly hard to understand what she was trying to say. Now, mind you, she never joined in on like video chats or voice chats. Like, she'd be in the video chat with us, but she would not have her camera on and she would not speak. So she never ever communicated with anybody as an adult at any point. And that became really hard on all of us. Also, she picked on everybody. She didn't stay around that long. But it was like, we had such a trouble communicating with her. Even because we're adults communicating through text, reading something that is completely misspelled, every R replaced, every L replaced, like, it was so hard to read and understand what she was saying. So that's where your adult brain comes in and helps, is through communicating. You can't pretend you can't. You can't just get rid of your ability to read and write. That doesn't just go away. So when somebody does that, it makes me feel like, okay, this person is trying too hard. This isn't real to me. Now, the way Shannon and I communicate is very much so, it's hilarious. We literally jump back and forth all the time when we're talking to each other between how we talk when we're little and how we talk when we're big. It's really funny. If you ever watch our conversations, it's kind of funny. We do a lot of Snapchat video, though, so we get, most of it's in video. But, so typically if I joined a Facebook group not that long ago, and I eventually left it because this was driving me nuts. There was somebody in there that was commenting on everybody's stuff and posting on everybody's stuff who literally never spoke or never typed correctly. And that's utterly annoying because, okay, I understand you're a little, but you're communicating as an adult. You have to type as an adult. It's not very, if I see that happening, those are the type of people I stray away from. Because it frustrates my brain to no end. And those are typically the people who they're not who I'm going to be friends with, because all you ever do is communicate as a little. I can't do that. I cannot do that. So that's kind of my 2 cents of it. Like, yes, there are things that when I'm having a role play or playing around with Shannon or Dom or something like that, I will use W's instead of R's for certain words, but that's not my norm. We don't normally communicate with that. We communicate with that when we're in super little headspace, but we also make it so that the sentence can be read easily. Like we do spell throw, as in fro, F-R-O-W, fro. If we're saying that word type of thing. So we do things like that, but that's not our typical. That's when we're role playing. Now, speaking wise, when you're speaking that in front of a person, you know what they're saying. So you don't have to think as hard and figure out what they're saying. But I'm also, so when I'm little, my voice changes, my laugh changes, and my cry changes. And it's really funny. If you watch it, you'll hear it. But there's also I'm not trying to be mean, but there's some people that just try too hard and it's not natural, and it just drives me crazy. When somebody is like purposely trying to use a baby voice, purposely trying to laugh like a certain way, it's not natural. Like literally, yes, my demeanor completely changes. I am a true regressor. Everything changes except for body size. And yes, brain level, there's a certain level to which my brain goes. But then when I am really, really regressed, like for example, say I was regressed and I was put in timeout on my bed. This was also happened when Andrew was being my baby. We had a ceiling fan, and the fan was on. And I was literally in timeout, laying on the bed, just completely entertained by the fan going round and round and round. I thought it was fun. Like literally, I was regressed to that level that became completely entertaining to me, just like it would a baby. So yes. Now, do I stay completely on my age level when it comes to toys? No. Because when you're, a 1-year-old, your toys are different. Yes, those entertain me, but I like blocks and cars. I love Hot Wheels. So when I'm little and playing, while I'm regressed, no, not always. There's a lot of ABDLs who never wear diapers. It just depends. It completely depends on the person. Diapers freak some ABDLs out. But usually, here's the thing about a lot of the ABDL community. Usually, those who are little have some form of abuse or trauma in their life early on. Mine, we're not completely sure. When I was 3 years old, I became an older sister. Okay, until then, I was the baby of the family, and I was like my mom's favorite baby. She's like, I was a hard delivery, but she's like, you were such a good baby. And she's like, I spent so much time with you as a baby. And she's like, I enjoyed every moment of breastfeeding. She's like, it was our special time. She's like, you were such a happy baby. You were cuddly. You were, So this is kind of where I think mine stems from, is that level of energy was put into me at a young age, from birth to 3 years old. Before that, my mother had a crazy child. My older sister was like Energizer Bunny. She crawled at 5 months old. So she was 22 months old when I came into the world. But my mom took so much time with me as a very young child. And I think that's kind of where it stems from, is like at 3 years old, I got a new sister and suddenly became the big sister. So I didn't adjust real well to that. And it semi-created the adult baby aspect. I am also a middle child. I've been a middle child since I was 5. My youngest sister was born when I was 5. So for me, early childhood, between that 1 and 3 years old, was a very important time. I'll get to that in just a second. We think there is a possibility that I was sexually abused as young as 6 months old. We have no idea. At 6 months old, my family went out of town. I was too young to do the thing, so my parents left me with my aunt and uncle. My grandfather on that side was a pedophile. So we have no clue what happened during that week of life. Whether my mom suspects that there could be something there. But my trauma, most of it came a little bit later in life. Like, yes, I was the middle child. I was often just forgotten about. I was the only kid in the neighborhood my age. My siblings all had 2 or 3 friends that were their age. I was literally the only kid my age. We grew up with a family that had 4 boys, all the same ages as my sisters. I was the middle kid. I was constantly, I'd go play. I wanted to play with the younger kids. No, you're too big. Go play with the big kids. The big kids are like, you're too little. Go play with the little kids. So like I was always by myself. I would be in my own little head. And then as I became older, I started having with the health issues. And that's when the little side really started showing up. I have a memory from about 6 years old where I snuck a diaper. As far as I know, it's a memory. I don't fully know. I was a thumb sucker. I sucked my thumb until I was 16 years old. My sister taught me how to when my mom took away my pacifier. I've never gotten over that habit. I don't suck the thumb anymore. I use a pacifier. So like my life, I did grow up in a very strict Christian home that was very, very abusive, in many ways. I don't remember sexual abuse at all. I remember the physical and the mental abuse, yes, but I don't remember the sexual abuse. But I do know when the medical stuff hit is when it really started coming into play, where I really had to regress and get back to that safety. Because a lot of regressors regress to an age where they felt safe. So for me, that was before 3 years old. That's when I had, I don't remember it, but obviously that's when I had a lot of happy times, I have one memory when I was 1 year old. I remember getting my birthday present. And I remember the birthday present from when I was a year old on my birthday. So yeah, a lot of it is trauma-based. There's a lot of sexual abuse. You will find a lot of people who are in this community as a little have had sexual abuse or physical abuse or mental abuse. You'll find a lot of us are autistic. A lot of us are autistic. What was the present? What do you mean? What was a little wind-up teddy bear. It played a little song. I think it was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I don't fully remember the song, but I literally remember opening this bear. And we only have like one picture from that birthday. So it's not like I saw a picture and have that memory. I remember this bear. I remember having it. But I also don't have cognitive, like I can remember when I was 4. I remember my 4th birthday a bit. I remember when I was 4 and our neighbors moved in, the neighbors I spoke about before, they moved in. I remember them moving in. They did that when I was 4. So that's really where my first memories come around is 4. Hitting 5 is when I start to remember a lot more. 6, yeah. But either way. So on the question of does your family understand the ABD aspect? Yes and no. There are only a couple, like I'm pretty open with it when it comes to my mother and my youngest sister, I should say. They're pretty cool with it at this point. My mother acted not cool with it until her and my dad separated and divorced. Now she embraces it. She understands it a little bit more. She asks questions. She knows I'm a little. She knows I have a mom, or I had a mommy and I had a daddy. Like she knows these things. My sister Jenna, who is the youngest, knows about the same level, things like that. My 3 other sisters, my oldest sister, we don't talk to her anymore. She does know. She knows, and she actually fully accepts it. She had a friend who was a DL, so she knew. And at the time, I could openly talk with her about it and discuss it. She does not speak to my family anymore. So the next one down, she doesn't know much about it because she's a very personal person, like a private person. She's the girl that was utterly embarrassed to talk about having sex or talk about any form of sexual thing. Like the girl would turn beet fucking red with anything talk of that. So My family all found out at the same time, and I played it off as, oh, it's just something I was checking out. It's not for me. I'm not doing it. They now know that's not true. But that is not something I discuss with my sister. She finds that not something she wants to be involved with. I also don't really talk to her that much. Her and I are not that close. If we're in person, we talk, but it's not about this. The next one below me, Carissa, she's the same way. Her and I don't talk much. She knows about it. Her and I don't talk much or discuss that type of thing, really. My mom and I, and my sister and I, we literally can talk about anything. Like, seriously. My mom and I talk about who she's had sex with. We talk about BDSM stuff. Like, her and I can talk like that. No problem. And same with my younger sister. So, my father, none. I don't speak to my father, so it's not an issue. Does my extended family know? They all know I wear diapers. Do they know to the extent that my lifestyle is? I don't think so. That's not something I really need to share with them. The only time it would be shared is when I'm like, hey, I need to use my pacifier because I'm overstimulated. So the pacifier for me plays a lot of different roles. So it can be a completely little thing, or it can be completely non-little. And it's just like hey, I'm fucking overstimulated and I need this comfort factor. I've always sucked my thumb to calm me down. The funny thing is, the only real support I have from my family is my mom and my younger sister. They are the two, literally, my sister and I talk every day. Even if we don't like video call or talk on the phone, we Snapchat, video snap all day long, every day. And she is so open about it. And my mom was not open about it till she divorced my dad. So she divorced my dad like a year before I moved here. No, they are not nearby, unfortunately. So I grew up in Michigan till I was 12, and then New York until I was 25. And then I moved to Connecticut for a year, moved back to New York, and then I moved out here to Kansas. So my family is in New York and Michigan, except for the sister who I do not speak to, who is in Tennessee. So unfortunately, it is a 2-day trip to go see my family. It's a 1,700-mile trip. It's really long. So I haven't seen them in person. I have not been back to New York since I moved here. That hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to go back this year and see them because it's needed. I need to go see my family. Between my health issues, COVID, all this stuff, it's not been possible. And the times when we could afford it, COVID was happening, or I was getting sick, or things like that. So I've not been able to travel by myself, which changes everything. She does understand. She 100% is totally supportive of it. There are reasons outside of that she no longer speaks to the family. I'm not going to get into that story right now because that is a very long story. My alarm clock did not go off. Oh well. So her reasoning for not speaking to us is very different. So yeah. But Andrew's family, we lived near Andrew's family lived here in Lawrence up until like 2-3 years ago. Then they moved to Montana. They currently travel like that area, Montana, Dakota, South Dakota, Yellowstone area. They do a little bit in Phoenix. They have a fifth wheel, and they travel around. So they work. What they do is they go to different state parks throughout the year and work there, and that kind of covers them parking at that park. It's a wonderful life for retired people. Andrew's parents are fantastic. While they are interestingly supportive, Andrew's family is very much different than mine. My family is just a very connected family. While Andrew's family ties are very close and strong, when it comes to this stuff, like his mom knows. Andrew confessed to his mom many years ago about the lifestyle. But it's more of an ask, don't tell type of situation. Like, I think once every few years she asks me, like, I think it was like 5-6 years ago. So is Andrew still into the whole diaper thing, you know? For the longest time, they actually thought that I met him through only that. Like, they didn't know that I was incontinent. They thought I wore diapers. They knew I wore diapers, but they didn't know I wore them because I was incontinent. They thought we met through the ABDL community and blah blah blah. Now, mind you, they were completely. They adored me. Like, his mother is like one of my good friends. Like, we are really good friends. We get along really great. Same with Hannah's family. Hannah's family is extremely supportive of us in general. All the families are supportive of the lifestyle that we live in ways. Andrew's family is still, once again, very much don't ask, don't tell. They know that he is dating both me and Hannah, and they're cool with that. You know, they don't fully understand it, and it's not for them, but they are supportive. You know, she adores both of us. His mom and I are very close because I've been around longer than Hannah. His mom and I get along great. And Hannah's family is wonderful. Basically, they're like, I'm part of their family, you know, even though I'm not dating their daughter. They know they know about our lifestyle to some degree. Funny enough, Hannah's sister is into the ABDL community as well. We don't know how much, but she is she does do some stuff with it. So there is that. Her sister does know some, but her sister is fantastic. She calls me her sis all the time. You know, so it's very much so. All of our families completely accept and bring in the other aspect of our lives. Like, Andrew and Hannah are part of the family. I am part of their families. You know, we're all, even though I'm not dating Hannah, I'm still part of the family. So we have been so lucky and blessed in that aspect of it. Like, I know so many people who can never speak a word of being polyamorous to their family or being an ABDL to their family. I have been so lucky in this. My mom found out when I was about 20. I was getting an MRI, and while I was gone, I couldn't have my phone, but it kept ringing, so she looked at what was going on. And she read a conversation between me and a friend who I still am friends with about Binkies and baubles, and she asked me about it, and I'm like, you know, it's not really something that I keep going on. It's just like, you know, she wasn't incredible. Like, before she divorced my dad, she did not support it, or she didn't show support of it. But I still did the things. Like, when she found out the story I've told before of when my mom found out I was using a pacifier was I sucked my thumb until I went into the hospital, basically, and started with being ill. And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm in the hospital. I have raging infections. I can't be sucking my thumbs, getting all those germs. So I switched to a pacifier. I had kind of wanted to try a pacifier for years. Anyway, so this was a couple years down the road after this. And when my PTSD started, I was in the hospital for my leg issue. And I had a PTSD flashback. I was freaking the fuck out. See you later, John. I don't remember this because I don't remember much of what went on. They tried medication. They tried, you know, different things of calming me down. It did not work. Finally, I don't know how I did this, but I communicated to my mom that there was a Binky in my backpack. And I told her to get it. And she was like, she went and got it. And she's like, I held it up. And I'm like, I don't agree with this, but let's give it a try. She gave me the Binky. And she said, within like a minute to 2 minutes, you were calmed down and falling asleep. And she burst into tears because she's like, in that moment, I saw my baby. And she's like, it was an amazing moment. So that was when she really understood that I did use pacifiers at that point. Now, at home, she's like, after that visit and stuff, she's like, okay, so when it comes to at home, please do it in private. You know, don't use it because at this time, when I came home from that hospital stay, I was actually living in our family room. I was not able to go up and downstairs. I had a hospital bed in my family room, so I was always around family except for at night. But there were times where I would take a Binky break, and I would like lay facing the wall, hide it under my blanket. And she's like, don't do that in front of people, just keep that private. Fast forward a year or two where I was back up in my room and I could do it on my own time. This is where my sister comes into play. My sister, at this point, we were the only two left in the house, and she gave no shits. She really gave no shits. She'd knock on the door, open it. Hey, Paige, what's up? I'd be sitting there with no pants on. I have a bottle sitting next to my bed, and I have a Binky in my mouth, and she'd just walk right in, And that's the type of relationship we had. And I had to talk with her. I'm like, look, this is going on. You saying, whether you walking in on me is you consenting to it in a way. You are saying, I don't care. I don't have a problem with it. Now, when she came in the room, of course, I would put those away for the most part. Because I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And she was not quite 18. She wasn't 18 yet at this point. Well, maybe she was. I want to say it was 16, 17, 8 range. But I had to talk with her. I'm like, look, this is how I'm going to be. If you walk into this room, that is you being okay with seeing me in just a t-shirt and diaper, seeing me with a Binky, seeing me with a bottle. She's like, yeah, that was her thing. She was okay with it. When I broke up with my ex, I lived in Connecticut. When we broke up, I went back home, but I didn't take all my stuff. I packed up my bird and a couple of things, and I went home. So we had to go back about a month later to pick up the rest of my things. And it was at that trip, she went with me, and it was that trip where we really kind of talked about it a lot. She asked questions about the lifestyle, like why you do it, do you do this, does it, and like I kind of let her know what it was like. And from that time on, she's been, I don't openly all the time talk about it, but when I was with Celine, she kind of was like, so not girlfriend, but is, and I'm like, so not girlfriend, but she's my mommy. She's like, okay. So, and the way I explain it to her so that she understands it a little bit more was, she knows what the BDSM lifestyle is. She understands that. And I'm like, she's the dom, I'm the sub. Even though I'm not as involved in the BDSM community, explaining it to the general public in that way helps. Usually they'll understand that. So, but she is extremely supportive of my lifestyle in general. 100%. My mom and her are completely 100% supportive of me in every aspect. The other sisters are kind of like the don't ask, don't tell type of situation. They know in a way, but they don't know. Because I don't communicate with them the same way I communicate with my mom and my younger sister. So it depends on the family and what they want to know. That's the thing. If they want to know everything, I will share everything. If they don't, I don't. But, it's all about what they are comfortable, knowing. And I'm, they do have to know, hey, I'm dating this guy and he's dating that girl as well as me. So you're going to have both of us. Are you going to work? You're just wearing scrubs. Why? Yes, those other things.
Also,
Pockets.
Pocket. And they wick moisture better.
Fair.
So I'm not going to have massive sweats.
But it's kind of the similar thing with all of our families. We don't hide our lifestyle from any of our families at this point. And the only ones we really hid it from were Andrew's family at first, and not really.
I mean,
we don't.
It's the definition of lifestyle that you're talking about, because the only part of my lifestyle I hide, quote unquote, is the ABL portion of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not.
That's
my
not.
parents into that.
Yeah,
shit.
that's not.
That's not their business.
And that's where my mom is not involved in that part of my life, but she knows. And there are times she asks questions about it. My mom and I
does not know.
My mom and I have a very different relationship. My mom and I talk about sex and things like that.
Your mom and
we're very open. We're very open, and we didn't grow up like that though. You didn't talk about sex. You didn't have sex. You only had sex to have babies, and yeah.
I get to talk to my mom
about
sex, but I'm not going to talk to her about
yeah.
things.
No,
that's
but that's the type
weird.
of thing. My mom and I have discussed it. We have discussed our kinks.
But you're weird.
But my mom
is not a normal mother-daughter relationship.
No, it's not. My mom and I, because of my medical issues, my mom and I are open about different things. But she's open like that with Jenna too. Like that's how our family is.
Your mom is weird.
My mom is weird. And honestly, if she was still with my dad, probably wouldn't be like this. My dad is a uptight asshole.
Your mom's probably overcompensating for trauma.
Yes. Very much so. There was a lot of abuse in both sides of the family. This is Hannah. This is Andrew's other girlfriend.
Sup?
/ my roommate friend person. If you eat that
caretaker, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
I'm the multi-tool.
Yes. The multi-tool.
Yes. Okay. You cannot
That's
lie
hilarious.
to me and say that I'm not a tool.
No, that's
sometimes.
utterly hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
I am fully aware that I am an absolute
Okay,
tool
Yuki.
sometimes.
If you're still here, Yuki, the Binky is taken apart. The one we didn't see. Ta-da! There she is. She has been on camera many times. She bugs me all the time when I'm live streaming. You'll hear her.
If you want to leave early, you can make snacks.
I need a shower, actually. Well, I showered last night. I technically don't have to shower.
Lester wants outside, but also doesn't want outside.
That's his house.
Because he's weird.
I do have to drop this off. Wait,
Okay.
Passy is what? Is taken apart, ready to resin. Okay, do you see Yuki's puzzle?
What, Lester?
This is mine. I might put words on it. But it's ready to resin. So is this one. This one's really cute. I love this one. I'm so glad this person chose aqua. That was the one I kind of planned it for. It was like to do it on the aqua. Look how cute that is. So cute. I might make mine one like that. This one is going to be mine, but I'm going to take the things off and do it paint. So yeah, but my relationship with my family is very different than a lot of people. My mom has done a lot of my care. She's changed my diapers. She's cleaned my ass up, She's done a lot of the care for me. She's helped me change my ostomy before. So, her and I have a very different relationship, and me and my sister are the same. We can talk about whatever the heck. We can talk about everything. My mom has always been the person where she's like, I'm going to raise you. And then when you're an adult, while I'm still your mother, I'm no longer your caretaker. I am your mother that is your best friend, basically. My mom and I are just best friends. Like, we can, we talk very regularly, and all that. Like, she's an amazing friend. And I'm really thankful her and I have the relationship we have. Like, we don't talk about the ABDL stuff for the most part. Like, there's times where it happens, but it's very rare, and it's more of like an in passing. We don't sit and have discussions on it. There are times she'll ask questions. Please don't make him weird funky. Leo, you're weird. I don't think he's feeling good. But I have been extremely blessed in the family that I have at this point regarding the lifestyle, both aspects of the lifestyles, the polyamory and the ABL stuff. Like,
which is why the wallet gave her me.
Turn on my light. You're mean. I have fluids. Where's the back scratcher? This is my reach the light. You can't wait for the curvy limit. I know. Okay, you have to see the adorableness that is going on this pacifier. Hannah, Mary, you just have to see this because it's absolutely precious. So, it's a Kirby Luma. It's so cute. But yeah. So, My out family, no, I wear diapers, but don't. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like my entire extended family, for the most part, knows about the diapers. I've been in them for long enough. They found out, and it was kind of funny. My grandmother is very old fashioned, and she knows nothing about the AB stuff. I don't think she knows her wear, and she actually was. She used to be pretty harsh on me about it. Like she'd tell my mom like, "There's no way that Britt can't feel her bladder, blah 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 blah." You know, she's too young. Grandma, I have news for you. The majority of the population of actual incontinent people are my age. Um, like especially like if I only wore for the ABDL side of things, yeah, they would not know. They wouldn't know. But because it's a medical issue, they found out. It's a thing. So, um, do you need to get gas, Hannah? But yeah, no, that's kind of, and it's been the progression of it's been really interesting because I've been into the lifestyle from like 18 on, and I lived at home with my family for several of those years with my father, who is major Christian weirdo dude, and um, they know about the diapers. Pretty much everybody knows about the diapers, not about the ABDL stuff. But like I have one friend who is kind of in the ABDL lifestyle, not so much, but we met through an epilepsy support group, and like she does have some incontinence stuff, so she's aware of that. She does semi have a little side, um, and so I can kind of show her the Binkies and be like, I could talk a little teeny bit about the mommy stuff with her, like when I told her that Celine and I were not a thing anymore, type of deal. It was like I let her know that my mommy and I have separated, type of deal. So it depends on the friend and the relationship I have with them. My best friend in high school, she knew everything. She knew about the ABDL side. It really was part of the community as well. Do I share my knowledge? It depends on who I'm talking to. If they ask questions, I will share. If they don't want, like, not going to explain to them the difference between an ABDL diaper and a medical diaper unless they want to know. But like typically when the family or friends find out, or see the printed diaper, they're like, "Oh, that's cool that you don't have to have just something really boring. You get to have printed stuff too." The only time I've ever been made to feel like horrible was actually a nurse in the hospital. For the most part, I had wonderful, wonderful nurses and wonderful doctors. But I had one nurse who was like, "You are way too young to be in diapers or way too old to be in diapers, blah, 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 blah." And she saw the pacifier in my pocket or something like that because I forgot it in my pocket of my gown. And like, "Why are you using that? Blah, 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 blah." Like, she was just a very forward, rude person. Then again, I had another one who, she was a night aide, and she's like, "Look, I'm noticing that you're leaking through your diapers if, all the time, blah, blah, blah. You're not, you're getting changes this often." And she's like, "You know what I'm going to do tonight for you is I'm literally going to come in here as often as I can every 30 minutes and kind of check the bed, check your diaper type of deal, and make sure we change it before you leak." And she did that. And like, I barely woke up for it because she was really good about it. And if she had to change, she would only turn on very few lights, and she would bring in the warm wipes so it wouldn't wake me the fuck up. Like, because she knew if I had to wake up with all the lights and the cold wipes and things like that I would be awake for the rest of the night. So she's like, "You need to get your rest. So we're going to do this. We're going to have warm wipes. We're going to have low lights. We're going to make sure you're not waking up in a wet bed, several times in the night." And it was like one of the most restful nights in the hospital. And she's one of the aides I remember to this day because of that little bit of kindness. Mind you, none of them, most of the nurses and aides in the hospital really don't know how to change it. No, you don't have to bring your diapers unless you're like me and you're too big for most of them. But in that case, typically they would just have you in the bed using a bed pad. And they just change it. Yes, I bring my own diapers with me because their diapers are crap and I'm allergic to them. So I cannot wear them. I will have a very bad diaper rash within hours of wearing those diapers. So yeah, I have to. I've never been to a hospital that has pull-ups. They always have the Chibo diapers. They suck. There were times in the past that, yes, I just did use their diapers because they were the same ones I was getting from Medicaid. But I would like wear a night diaper. But I was also, do you get them? Only there are a few ABDL shops in the country, but I am not local to any of them. I do get them from the U.S. a lot, like some from the U.S., but no one local to me has ABDL diapers. You cannot find them in the stores, no. So, yeah. But, when it comes to the medical field, they need to train their nurses better, their nurses and aides, on how to properly change an adult diaper. Because I had diaper rash so often because they didn't know how to clean up and change a diaper. Or like, if they tape up a diaper, they do it so sloppily that you leak because there's like this massive gap in the front or in the back. Like, so they are just, they need to train them better. Stock up. In a way, I buy 3 cases of diapers at the beginning of the month. On the 3rd, when I get paid, I order all my diapers for the month. I order from rears.com and abu.com or abuniverse.com. So at the beginning of the month, usually at the end of the month, I choose which prints I'm going to get them from, or I'm going to go for. I change that up every now and then. And then on the 3rd, when I get paid, I order 3 cases of diapers, which is like 90 to 100 diapers. So in stock up, not really. I have a little bit of a backup right now, but not much. How do I store them? I store them in my sewing room. Has like a closet-y wardrobe thing that I put them in right now. Otherwise, I just store them in a closet. I open a pack up or two. I have the linen closet right outside my door, and one shelf is completely just diapers, and so I can go grab them easily. I keep a couple in my purse. I have a little backpacky thing. So yeah. But just Andrew upstairs, he has a whole shelf thing that he puts them on. I keep about 2 to 3 packs in my closet at a time. When I run out, I go grab another one. So, but in my craft room, there's a fabric wardrobe thing where they all have been. Well, currently they're not in there. I need to empty all the boxes into there. Anyway, no. So basically, they come in a pack. I have one here. I'll show you something really quick. Oh my god, my legs. So they come in a pack like this. There's 10 of them here. What I will do is I'll open this pack up and I'll set it in my shelf, all stacked up like this. I literally rip the top off and just squeeze them out onto the shelf. So it'll sit on the shelf. So each pack is separated on my shelf. So 1, 2, 3 usually. But other than that, I know what diaper does what time of day. Or I'll have my set of daytime I don't care diapers, and then I'll have my other diapers. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I got to wrap it up because I got to get going. We have to go to get fluids. I might be back later this afternoon. I don't know if I'll stream by then. Other supplies, really all I have is wipes. Andrew has the creams and stuff upstairs. If I need a cream, I tell him to bring it down. And then it just goes on the same shelf. Yeah. This is in my room right now. This is one of my packs of, this is adult wipes. I love these. They're awesome. They're big. But this just stays in my room, just wherever. So yeah, I don't have much, but yeah, they all go in that closet over there. So Anyway, I will see you all later. Have an awesome afternoon, and I will at least for sure be back tomorrow. Well, that's not true. I have my CPAP guy coming tomorrow, so I may or may not be back tomorrow. We will see. But have an awesome day, guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.